What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 90s First Podcasting Network. My name is Mike, and alongside my co-host Joe, we take a look at some 90s content that we just can't stop watching. Join us on our flagship show, the 90s First Show. We look at some 90s content that Joe and I are watching, as well as some current stuff, and we end it with a 90s trivia contest. Or join us on Test Your Might, a video game debate show where we battle it out on the current news. Joe hosts as our good buddy Cicero and I try to get the high ground and go 1000 IQ against each other. If you would like to connect with us, we are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the 90s First. And finally, if you would like to support us monetarily, we have a Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/the90sfirst to show general support for as little as $1 a month. So whether you're listening to the 90s First Show or Test Your Might, Joe and I would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We hope that you have a blessed day.
Beautiful intro. Thank you, Cicero. And welcome back to Test Your Might, our weekly video game debate show podcast, and just show in general. If you're on YouTube watching us, hey. I'm back. I've been out for a minute here. But hey, I'm glad to be back. What's up, everyone? We have with us...
You know what? Who is back?
Oh, sorry. Jelly. If you don't know these sultry tones, you should listen to us more. But if you did understand and recognize my voice, I love you and welcome back. How's that?
There you go. And if you're hearing that voice for the first time, we love you and welcome for the first time.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show. With us, you've heard him, Cicero, here as per usual, and guest Rubber Duck. We are sans Mike this evening, but we're going to make do. I feel like this is going to be a great podcast without Mike. Mm-hmm. Mike, I love you, but you're missing out.
Yeah, that's what he does. He misses out.
It'll be all right.
He misses out.
Yep.
We're going to have a ton of fun.
That is correct.
If you are hearing us for the first time, we would love it if you leave us a review. If you're hearing us for the second through infinite time, we'd also love a review. So whatever you're listening to us on, leave us a review. If you're watching us on YouTube, hey, you can leave your review as a comment right down there. And we will read them and probably respond to them on air if there's any comments there. Unless they're spam. If you're spamming us, then no, don't do that. Nobody wants spam.
Also, smash that like button.
Hit that little bell.
Right, and subscribe.
Don't forget to turn on notifications. That's how you do it,
Hit
right?
that notification bell.
Yeah.
So you can get notified when we
go
live.
There it is. All right, we have a question of the week. Our series is favorite video game in a genre. This week's genre is picked by Mike, and he can't even answer it, but it is zombies. And yes, Call of Duty Zombies does count. So, Justin, what is your favorite zombie-themed game?
Oh, well, Call of Duty is up there, but it is not my favorite. We're going back to August 8th of 2006. I'm going with Dead Rising, the original Dead Rising. Wow. I played it non-stop when it came out.
Good.
Frank West, cameraman,
pretty good.
Replayability, fun, weapons. It's got an adult theme to it a little bit. Taking pictures brings back nostalgia with Pokemon Snap. And the zombies are just fun to massacre.
All right, Dead Rising. Cicero, what is your favorite zombie-themed game?
So, Call of Duty Zombies that does count, but that is not my game. My game is a little game that was an Xbox exclusive, and at least initially, well, completely, and that is Left 4 Dead.
Nice. Good choice.
Nice. Yeah, good times sitting down with 4 friends playing on the hardest difficulty and struggling
100%.
through it.
100%.
Great times.
100%.
I was gonna say Left 4 Dead, but it's been taken. And that is the only zombie game except for Call of Duty Zombies that I've played. So I'm naturally going to have to choose Call of Duty Zombies. I hate all zombie games. It doesn't matter because I don't like them. They scare me. They make me uncomfortable. They make me anxious. They make me all, I feel yucky when I play them because I get all like clammy and scared and worried. And that's
well, you mean like World at War?
Yeah, that's not how I enjoy playing video games. I like to actually enjoy playing them. So for me, not a zombie guy. If I was going to play a zombie game, it would probably be Call of Duty Black Ops 2, the arcade style zombie mode that they had if you went over to the arcade.
Black Ops Arcade.
Yes, that one was super fun. Because it was arcadey and I can enjoy that. But when I feel like I'm running for my life, because I'm running for my life and I've run out of bullets and I can't afford to get any more and I'm a terrible shot when I'm, panicked, I just don't play well under those stresses. And that's basically zombie games. If you like those, more power to you. If you're good at them, whoa, like blown here, because I can't play them. But I love that there are people out there who love those things. Justin, I know you're kind of a horror person. Same with games. True. Do you enjoy those ones?
I deeply enjoy horror games. Anything gory, scared, out of your mind, gameplay. Usually had some good stories behind it. I enjoy playing through. I was thinking we should get you into a VR horror game.
Oh no, he'll never do that. He'll never do that.
No way.
No,
Yeah,
not
gonna have
happening.
to.
I wouldn't
He's gonna
do
have
that.
to lose a bet to do it.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
I've got Five Nights at Freddy's ready to go.
No. Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. And don't worry, Jelly. I won't let that happen to you. So you have nothing to worry about. What I was gonna say, seriously, if you want to play a zombie game that you can play, you should play The Walking Dead, Telltale's The Walking Dead, the video game.
Okay.
What's I was gonna say Lollipop Chainsaw.
It's episodic. Lollipop's Chainsaw is also a very good game to play. Very good.
It's comical.
Yeah, very good zombie game to play. But Walking Dead, The Walking Dead, the game, Telltale's The Walking Dead, the game, season 1 was incredible. The story is incredible. It's essentially a point and click adventure. Where, so there's not a lot of action per se. There are moments where you have to fight off zombies, but it's not, it is
as immersive.
Right. Well, it is not, it is tense, but not in a like a trigger, like you have to have great senses or great motor skills in order to succeed.
Okay. I'm not going to feel overwhelmed.
No, you're not going to feel overwhelmed. And like I said, it's episodic. So each game or each episode is maybe 2 hours. So you can play them over the course of a week.
Okay.
And narratively, they're fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And what was that called? One more time?
Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Telltale's The Walking Dead. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The original one.
Yes. Yeah. Season 1.
Yeah, I tried Alex Half-Life VR, and while that's not a zombie game, it was scary enough. The first time I got grabbed by one of those ceiling dangly things, that it was my first time playing a game like that in VR. That wasn't like what is that, hot shot game or like a shooter game. It was
Super hot.
Super hot. Thank you.
Super hot, yeah.
So it was my first time in like a really immersive VR game like that. And I was just walking through, minding my own business, right? Looking around, having a good time, watching out for the creepy little alien dog things that jump at you. Because I'm like, cool, I can shoot those and take care of them. I get grabbed and I freak out. Like, actually freak out in real life. Because my buddy's in the same room as me, and he grabs my shoulders as the thing grabs me.
That's where it crosses the line. I would never do that to you, Jelly. I would never break the immersion into the fourth wall like that. That's just rude.
After the fact,
not for you.
When my heart, came back into my chest and my breathing returned normal. But at the time, scary and not so fun. So
did you
I'm
have
out
to
on
change your
VR
underwear?
for right now. Thankfully, no. I'd gone to the bathroom beforehand, so we were good.
Right.
But yeah, VR, zombie, horror. I'm out on all of that. That was it was fun. It was really cool. A beautiful game. Really fun to play. Really awesome like movements and mechanics. Nah, I'm out. Like, I love that people love those things. That's awesome for them. It ain't for me. It's just how it is. You know, we all like things and we don't. Speaking of liking things, perfect transition. What games do you like to play? What have you been playing, Cicero?
You know, I've been playing a lot of things. I've been playing some sports titles. I guess the last time we spoke, I just gotten into Madden 22.
Ooh, yeah.
And man, what a roller coaster that game has been so far. Currently, I'm on the down part of the roller coaster.
Okay.
And you know, I assume
down as in we or down
no,
as
down,
in the lull.
In the lull,
Okay.
like where
right.
I see the game in available for me to play, but I don't want to play it because there are definite issues with the way
Okay.
the game is performing right now. There are bugs that they need to fix, but I remain steadfast in my hope and belief that they will fix them and fix them soon. And you know, lots of different ways that I can play that game, but right now is not the time to play the game. The game's only been out for a week, so
Shout out to Mike. I gotta ask this question for him. Can you run through the stands?
Can you run through the stands? I have not done it yet, but I'm sure at some point you will be able to run through the stands. You can make an entire team disappear, though. So I mean,
Time travel.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And you can gain XP while also not gaining XP. So that is
that's
another type of disappearing act.
That's rough.
Yeah, so it does perform magic. This game still does perform magic.
Magic Madden.
Right.
Sounds exciting.
So yeah, so it is. Let's see. I have also played a game that a lot of people really like, including our good friend Mike. Death's Door. I started playing
Nice.
it,
Ooh.
and Mike is in love with this game. It is on his very short list for Game of the Year. I am enjoying it. I am not as enamored with the game as he seems to be, as others seem to be.
Okay.
But I've got to give it more time to see how it shakes out, and maybe it'll really click for me. But
How much have you played so far?
I've played probably about 15% of the game based on what they've at least the progress has said. I probably put in about 3 or 4 hours into the game.
All right.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think the game is a 40-hour game, even though I've only, I put in about 10-15% at 3 or 4 hours. I think it's probably what I've heard is 12 to 15 hours.
I put in a lot and got to the third boss, and then I just was like, this is stressing me out too much. I'm putting it down, and I just haven't picked it back up.
Yeah, so I've gotten to the third boss as well.
Yeah. Betty?
No, I'm with the witch.
Oh, the witch. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So depends. Yeah, I don't know where you are versus where I am.
Spoilers.
But, yeah, right, exactly. There's a witch and someone named Benny. So watch out now. But I'm gonna definitely put some more time into it. Things seem to be going someplace, so I'm definitely gonna check it out and get some more time with it. The last game that I've been playing this week, no, actually there are a couple more, but one game that I've been playing is one that I've been waiting for a couple of years, and that is 12 Minutes. Out on Game Pass right now. It is a time loop whodunit mystery game starring Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley.
Oh, it's out.
And
it came out on Tuesday.
Yeah, and
Or
James
McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Yeah, that's his name. That's his name. Good old Professor X. And it is.
Oh, dang! I have to get it.
It is weird. It is so. It's a weird, like, mystery time loop puzzler.
Yeah,
and
that's what I've heard.
And it, man, is it cool. Man, is it cool.
And it like it's adaptive, right? It changes and like as you go through it, it evolves with you.
Well, you as your character are aware. You play as James McAvoy's character. You are aware that you're replaying the same thing over and over again, and you're aware of what happened the time before. And so from that perspective, you can do things differently, or you can Groundhog's Day your way through this adventure, and ultimately you're trying to solve this mystery that's there. But there's lots of different ways that you can attack that problem. And from what I've heard in some of the reviews, the greatness is not only in playing the game, but talking to other people that have played the game to compare your notes about the things that have transpired in your individual game sessions. So I'm super stoked about pushing through that. And I've been really excited about this game from when I saw it at E3 a couple years back. And I've only been more excited, and I'm so happy that at least so far it has not let me down.
Nice. I'm excited to jump into that one.
High praise.
Yeah. I guess the last game I'm playing, I can't tell you about because I'm under NDA.
Ooh,
but
that's an awesome thing to be.
But it is a game that is coming out this year from a publisher that we all know.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. There you go.
I like that. That's a nice tease. Justin, with that, what have you been playing?
Last time we spoke, I was playing a lot of Flight Sim. I've set that down recently. Playing Apex a little bit, as you can know.
Yeah.
I played Back 4 Blood during the beta. That was fun.
Nice.
Brought back nostalgia of Left 4 Dead. Fantastic game. Diablo 2 betas. I've been rocking those on the Xbox. Enjoying them. Big Diablo fan from back in the day. I picked up The Descent for a little while. Not my cup of tea. Played it with a couple friends. Didn't
The Descent
really
or
kick for me.
The Ascent?
The Ascent, sorry.
Oh, okay.
The Ascent.
Those are two different games.
Yeah,
they're going in different directions.
Didn't really hit the right points for me.
Right.
My D&D group is starting a Star Wars campaign. That's new. And I'm going to do my first session, hopefully this Tuesday, tomorrow.
Nice.
And the other game is a little game that's gotten high praise all over the board. And I picked it up on Tuesday. It's called Hades. And I've put almost 2 days of gameplay in. And beat it 5 times. I'm enjoying every moment I get with it.
Yeah,
I
you're
love
nowhere
it.
close to end.
I am enjoying every second I play with it, and I hate roguelikes. Hate them.
Wow.
This is the first one that has hit a point with me. I played Death's Door for a while. It had small roguelike elements to it, and I enjoyed it for what I played. But this one just really, this Hades, high praise. It's up there for me, real high up there. I've put so much gameplay in. I can't pick up other games right now. I'm just hooked on it. Enjoying every moment I spend.
I try and get him to play Apex, but he's too busy. Won't even join a party.
Yeah. He's multiple nights you've been sending me invites, and I've just on Hades. Yeah.
Let's see. I have been playing Apex. Obviously, I'm always playing Apex. If you guys ever want to play games with me, hit me up, DM me. We can play. But I did start new games, branching out a bit, and some old games. So I picked up Breath of the Wild again, played a little bit of that with my son. It's Zelda, and I'm obsessed. Super fun. Love Breath of the Wild. If you haven't played it, what are you doing? You got to try it. I'm excited for Breath of the Wild 2 whenever that comes out. I'd love to say next year. We'll see what happens. Nintendo, please. But
Open world?
yeah, I would love to play it. The other one I've been playing is a MMORPG, which I just picked up yesterday because I had a friend who said, "Hey, I've been playing it. I want to get into it."
Have you ever heard of World of Warcraft?
It is not. It is not WoW. Thankfully, I've played enough of WoW for my lifetime. I'm done with those days. This one doesn't feel as grindy. But yeah, Swords of Legend. It's a Chinese-based developer, which I don't remember the name of. But so far, it's been really cool. It's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. My buddy told me it was super fun. The movements were good. So far, they have been. You can choose to either do like an action style mouse thing where your mouse just rotates the screen and you move, WASD and move through the world like that, which is new for me because I'm used to the older style, kind of drag the screen with you as you go from WoW, and from like SWTOR and stuff like that, which are the two games that I put the most time in, MMO games like that. And I'm enjoying it. I'm only maybe 3 hours in, so I'm still at the very beginning. Didn't even finish the like initiation stuff, but I'm excited to be able to play with a buddy, especially one who I haven't talked to in a long time. And I mean, for me, that's what games are for. Like, people use them as an escape. I use them as my bonding time with my friends.
Absolutely.
So
100%.
Yes, and it's an escape kind of from adulting and life for a little bit, but more than that, it is, it's a hangout. And especially in this day and age, why can't a virtual hangout be like getting together with your buddies in the old days, LAN parties and playing cards and stuff like that? Exactly. I think it's the same.
Who says it's not? Exactly.
And I'm just excited to have that avenue, especially with this friend who I haven't talked to. We talked a little bit over social media and stuff like that, but we haven't really gotten to hang out in well over a decade, probably closer to 15, 16 years, or more. And we used to play Star Wars: The Old Republic and stuff like that. That was the game before that we played when that was in beta. So that'll give you an idea of the last time we hung out. So a bit ago. That game's dead and gone now, basically. But I'm excited to get more into it. It's really fun. Everything's very Chinese, Asian centric stylings. So if you want to make a character who isn't Asian, good luck. I tried. Thankfully, I got really like squinty eyes, which is perfect. So I can make him look like me. I just rounded out the face a whole bunch and gave him as much facial hair as I could, which is not enough because I got a lot more. But it was fun. Rounded my character out, made him look, fat and American instead of, healthy looking and Asian.
Right. You named him Hamburger.
I named
Hamburger.
him. I tried to name him Harry Potter, but the name was taken. Tried to name him Aang, but the name was taken. Right. So I went with the standard Jelly. The name wasn't taken. Imagine that.
Really? Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
So
still means a lot.
Yeah. And it's been fun. Like I said, it's obviously it's an MMORPG. It's gonna have all the same things. There'll be instances and dungeons and stuff like that, and it plays like one. That's nothing new under the sun, but it's a beautiful game, and I'm excited to play with friends, and that's really what it's about.
All right. Love it.
Yeah, I feel like that's what games should be. Playing with friends, hanging out with friends, a hangout time virtually. You guys ready for some news?
Let's get it.
This just in.
Uh-oh.
Halo Infinite will be released without campaign co-op or Forge mode at launch.
Forge.
There's been some delays on this game a little bit. Do we want to see it do we want them to wait until it's ready to go? Like all the way go, or is this cool? How do you guys feel about this? Because I don't really know. I obviously I want campaign co-op. Like I'm talking about gaming with friends. Then this is the new Halo game. Our generation, and I'll put that as a pretty broad range because Cicero, you're a little bit older, and Justin, you're about the same age or a little bit younger. We grew up with Halo. That was one of the first big games where you could get online with your friends and hang out and play on a console. PC, you could do it before that. We're not going to get into that. If you had a PC before that, congratulations. You're very, very niche in the market. Not everyone did have that. But on consoles, Halo was big. I want to play co-op with my buddies. We're not going to get that at launch. The Forge mode, I don't know enough about to be too dismayed by it, but come on, campaign co-op, that's classic Halo, especially LAN parties.
Growing up, you're right, I played a lot. Halo 2 is one of my turning point games in my life. Everyone has those games that are just, turning points in the gaming genre for you. And Halo 2 was one of those, mostly because of multiplayer, not because of co-op, but co-op was an addition that brought in a different aspect to gaming for me. And I feel like with the missing point of it not having co-op, I think they took the lesser of two evils here and not delaying the entire campaign. They wanted to have that campaign at launch, even if it is just single player. And 3 months more to make sure co-op works properly. It's a whole different ball game. I think it's okay. They took the lesser of two evils. Forge mode is create your own maps and stuff like that, so you're able to make your own multiplayer maps and fight modes, and that's okay. Wait longer for that, but I feel like they didn't want to delay the game as a whole because they already put that holiday 2021 guideline on there, and I feel like it stinks, but I'm okay with it because they're being honest with you. They're telling you it's not ready with co-op. They're going to give you the normal campaign with single player. They're giving you multiplayer. I think most of the community is going to be okay with it. Xbox fans in general, they're going to be okay with it because when do companies come out and say, hey, you saw what happened with Project Red. The game is not ready, but we're going to give you what is ready. And I'm okay with that. I'm ready for more Halo. And what do you think, sis?
Man, I'm ready for more Halo. You're right, Rubber Duck.
Yeah.
Right? But you also were right when you said the game is not ready. And you were also right when you said, hey, we got to learn the lessons from CD Projekt Red. Right? The game's not ready. So I'll let you guys in on a little secret about me. I love playing games. I've been playing games for over 40 years.
So just a little while.
Right.
Yeah, just a little bit. The older I get, the fewer games I actually complete. I start a lot of games.
Yeah.
I finish very, very few.
Feel you there.
Yeah, I'm here.
The only truth, though, the only thing that remains constant is I finish every Halo campaign. Every single one. I don't do Call of Duty. I don't do Rainbow Six. I don't do any of these other series that I love playing, any of the other shooters that I love playing, that I spend a lot of time and energy with. It's almost exclusively multiplayer except for Halo. Halo, I have finished every single campaign. And most of those campaigns, in fact, I think all of those campaigns I've played co-op and finished co-op. And maybe have only finished them co-op. So for me, there are two parts of Halo. There is playing multiplayer, and then there is playing the campaign with your friends, right? At least with one friend, but over later Halos, multiple friends. And being able to go through that story together is a shared experience that personally I look forward to. And it was one of the things that I was very much looking forward to for Halo Infinite. And the fact that they're saying that it's not going to be ready for November means that they haven't figured it out. If they haven't figured it out in November, there's very little for me to believe that they'll have it figured out by March. And if they haven't had it figured out by March, then why not hold the game? Even if they do have it figured out by March, why not hold the game? Because if you're releasing your multiplayer component as free to play, that is a thing that people are looking forward to, then just release that. And when the entire Halo Infinite game is available and ready to play, when the game is finished, release that game. And not a piecemeal version of that game, because if anything, if CD Projekt Red has taught us anything, it's that is exactly what they said. Trying to patch a game that has already been released is hard.
Yeah.
Right? That came directly out of their mouths. So let's listen to them and make 343 or beseech 343 to not release Halo Infinite until it is ready to go. Forge mode is a different thing. Like, Forge mode is something that was added on after the fact anyway. They can definitely do that whenever. But co-op experience, being able to build in the co-op experience into a single player game is not an easy feat. So just take the time to do it all right the first time and then release the game.
So you're saying do it like Call of Duty does, where they release the multiplayer separate and then hold on to the campaign until it's ready?
Yeah, well, so they were doing this anyway. That's what Microsoft was doing. Like the Halo, so it's not even the Halo. I think it's called Halo Infinite multiplayer, but I'm not positive. But we all know that that's free to play. That they're essentially two separate SKUs, even if one of the SKUs doesn't cost you anything. They're two separate SKUs. One is the Halo Infinite multiplayer, and the other is the Halo Infinite campaign. If the campaign isn't ready, then just release the multiplayer, because they were separate entities anyway. Go ahead and do that, and then when the campaign is ready, completely release that.
Okay.
I like that idea. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the multiplayer. Give everyone the Halo multiplayer they want, and make the game ready for everyone at the same time. Like, the whole game, make it available and ready for everyone all at once. Don't just piecemeal it together. Don't just say, okay, here's a little bit, and you can play through by yourself. But if your buddy's over and they want to play with you, that's not an option. Or if you want to go over to a buddy's house and play with them, that's not an option. Or if you want to get your buddies together like the old days, well, that's not an option. The only thing you can do is play multiplayer. Let that be its own experience. Multiplayer is awesome. Not dogging on Halo's multiplayer. Obviously, they're one of the best multiplayer experiences out there. But their co-op, I, like Cicero, have played most of those games co-op with my buddies over at their house, because I didn't have the consoles to play on, but they did. And so they invited me into, their Halo friend sphere to co-op with them through the campaign mode. And that's how I played Halo. I didn't play it single player. When I did play the single player variant, it was in co-op experience. So I was playing the campaign with my buddies. I would love for them to get it right the first time and put it out there all at once, ready to go with the whole experience. Not just, here's your single player, we'll hit you with an update where you'll re-download the whole game, basically, because it's what we're going to have to do to fix it. We'll give you the new game version when it's ready. It's going to be 80 gigs, whatever. Until then, you can play single player campaign or multiplayer. Again, the Forge thing, I just read a little bit about it. It's the, make your own maps and stuff like that. And I don't know how big of a thing that was. Says it released
it's
Halo
huge.
3.
Yeah,
it was
it's
probably
huge. Yeah,
pretty big.
It's huge.
But it sounds very separate. It sounds like its own thing inside the Halo universe. I feel like there's Halo like multiplayer, there's Halo Forge, and then there's Halo Campaign. And those all feel pretty separate, just reading about it. Maybe I'm wrong, because I never did the Forge.
No, I mean, you're not really wrong.
But
I mean,
I'd love to see him do it.
Like Griffball is
I remember
big multiplayer mode that came from Forge. But when I think about Forge, I think about multiplayer, right? So I think of it as more of a component of the multiplayer as opposed to a component of the campaign. And so it's interesting to have all of those things kind of looped in together. But to your point, Jelly, there is Halo Infinite campaign, there's Halo Infinite multiplayer, and then somewhere in the middle is Forge for Halo Infinite. And I don't really see how it's sitting in the middle as opposed to being on the multiplayer side, because I don't know how that integrates with the campaign, with respect to like building maps and doing different modes, or you're always doing those in connection with some type of multiplayer component in mind. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'd really just like to see them do it right the first time. If that means that they're going to miss that mark, and they don't have to miss the mark. Here's what they do. They keep their holiday launch with the multiplayer. It will make most of the fans really happy. Probably all the fans. Let's be real. It's going to make all the fans really happy. They'll be a little disappointed that they don't have the campaign.
Right.
But all the fans will be stoked to be playing Halo again, especially multiplayer with their buddies and against their buddies. So keep that. Launch it holiday this year, then give us the whole experience all at once for the campaign mode, so that those of us who only play co-op can play it, and those who don't care about co-op, they waited a little bit longer so that everyone can enjoy the experience. Like,
right, and that's
there's no spoilers at that point too, so that's pretty big.
Oh yeah,
and the other thing also to mention is 100% of the people that play Halo campaign play Halo multiplayer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not 100%. Not 100% of the people that play Halo multiplayer play the Halo campaign. But I think that percentage is pretty high. But also, if you think about it from this perspective, Microsoft would be smart to release the Halo multiplayer first, because it's free, so people are going to play. It's Halo, so people are going to play. And it's one of the things that I loved about watching those Halo multiplayer trailers was reminding me of game modes that seemed long in the tooth 4 or 5 years ago and that have all but disappeared, right? There are no King of the Hills anymore. There are no Capture the Flags anymore. Right?
Yeah.
But then to see that stuff in Halo, you're like, oh yeah, I remember when there was no fluff. There was no building things. There were no like just gimmicks on top of my multiplayer game. It used to be just the multiplayer game. And now I've got that in 4K 60 or 120 with great mechanics, and the guys that made this right the first time, right? I can play that now in multiplayer glory, and that's refreshing. And then I'll have 4-6 months maybe of playing Halo multiplayer and being able to get people to fall in love again, or fall in love for the very first time with Halo mechanics and the Legend of Master Chief and and Spartans just in general, and then you can release the game, right? Then you can release the single player campaign and say, hey, this is the story, right? And it's, and you sat and you played all the red versus blue, and you did all the stuff with the multiplayer. Now you can play the single player, and you can play it with up to 3 of your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you've got Halo fever, right? Like, it's at a fever pitch, instead of trying to dump all of it at the same time and having everyone just kind of overload all of the Halo servers, right? And it's everybody's all about Halo for 8 weeks, and then it falls off a cliff. But instead, you could have people all about Halo for 3 or 4 months, and then hit them with the game, and then they're on Halo for 8 weeks talking about the campaign, and then they're back to the multiplayer because they've been reinvigorated to play more Halo because they just finished the campaign.
Yeah, it gives them that hype for months to come, and then
Right.
they get the campaign to build up that publicity for free.
Making a lot of sense to me. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I gotcha. You might have swayed me a little bit.
All right. Halo will be what it will be. We'll have to accept it. Hopefully, though, they hear our cries. We may beseech them and they will listen. But nobody's swaying Nintendo.
No.
I don't know if you guys watched the Pokemon Direct or saw any of the highlights, but I'm a pretty big Pokemon guy. Cicero, I know you're not the biggest Pokemon guy, but you definitely know Pokemon.
Yes.
Justin, I think you're the biggest Pokemon guy here. You ready for the new Pokemon Legends, the Arceus and the Brilliant Diamond
Arceus?
and Shining Pearl?
Unfortunately, I never got a chance to play Diamond and Pearl. It was one of the ones I skipped. I played Ruby and Sapphire, and that's where I ended, and then I picked up Sword and Shield. But I actually have watched the gameplay, and it looks pretty good. I'm going to probably pick it up, but I'm more excited for Arceus, because that's the game that Pokemon fans for years have wanted. That open world experience, catching Pokemon in like a Breath of the Wild world and seeing them run around. That's what everyone wants, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Arceus next year, and I think maybe I'll pick up Diamond or Pearl just to hold me over in November. But there's going to be so much going on during that month.
It's a big month, yeah, for
that
video
month
gaming
is
in general.
huge. It's going to be a very packed quarter here, and I'm excited. I might pick it up.
Q4, it's always the biggest one of the year, man.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll disappoint. Cicero, you gonna get into Pokemon, my friend?
So full disclosure, man, I didn't know anything about the stupid Pokemon Direct. Because it's just not on my radar, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's fair.
it was a
There's
thing
a lot of
that
stuff.
it was a thing that I did that one time with the Game Boy, and then there was this movie that I watched in the cartoon with my kids, and but like, I understand Pokemon, right? What I don't understand about the phenomenon that is Pokemon is that I played Pokemon Red, or the Pokemon
Red,
Red,
blue, or yellow.
the Pokemon
Gold and
Red
Silver.
with the gray cartridge, not when they were
Oh, okay.
OG
Yeah.
Red.
right,
Ah, wow.
yes, right. So like, I played that, and then I wound up playing Pokemon Blue, and I started playing that, and I realized, oh, it's the same damn game.
It is
What the
the
hell is
same game.
what is going on? And then I started looking at other games in the series, and they're all the same game. They're all the same game. So like, yeah, you pick
Whoa.
up different Pokemon, but they're all the same game. It's it's Blue Steel. Give me a break. The thing that Rubber Duck is giving me, I love those Blue Steel looks right there. Oh man, give them to me. That's Magnum right there. All right, great job, Jelly.
I got you.
So, but what Rubber Duck was talking about, a game where it's like a real legit open world RPG where you're going and you're finding Pokemon. That's, like, oh, okay, I can get down with that. Just like the Pokemon Battle Arena, where you're actually battling the Pokemon and you set them out and they do the things and stuff. I'm with those games, but the rest of them, they're the same stinking game. So, so when that comes out, wake me up, let me know, and I'll wait for it to go on sale on my Switch, and then I'll pick it up.
Whoa, did you just say sale on Switch?
Yeah, on the Switch.
I don't think that exists, my friend.
No, that's not a thing.
I am looking forward to it. I miss Sword and Shield. I wanted to buy them, but I couldn't bring myself to pay $60 for what I felt would be a very similar experience to what I have played before. I think I would be more willing to part with that $60 for a new experience. And ideally, Arceus, Arceus, whatever it's pronounced, Arceus. Hopefully that will be the experience. Yeah. that everyone has been wanting since they played Pokemon the first time and they roamed around the 8-bit world. I think this will be the next Pokemon purchase that I make. And it's right next to my birthday, so happy birthday to myself, you know?
All right. Well, there you go.
It'll be
I buy too many Pokemon games.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's enough of the news. Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Test your might.
Oh, all right.
It is time.
Thanksgiving dinner. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. We're testing mites tonight. We have a new segment at the end, which I will explain both for you guys and for our listeners and our viewers out there. It is very exciting. Mike and I have been Mike's been gaming it out. He brought it to me so we could game it out together. And I loved the idea. So buckle up. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to test your time management skills, which I'm really excited about because I tend to get a little long in the tooth and love to egg on the disagreements, arguments, or fights, if you will. And I really enjoy that. However, it can turn a 30-minute segment into a 2-hour segment really easily. And maybe not everyone wants to listen to 2 hours of fighting. So for at least one fight, time will be a constraint that you must fight against, which is going to be fun. It's a good thing. Maybe. We'll see. I think it is, though.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
With that said, gentlemen, are you ready?
I was born ready.
I'm stretching out.
I'm ready to finish this fight.
Getting ready to drop gavels. All right. Frogger is getting a real-life game show hosted by Kyle Brandt and Damon Wayans Jr. What game should be the next real-life game show? Now, Cicero, you are technically a regular, and Justin, you are technically a guest, even though you guys have been on here all the time. Justin, talking you specifically, you do have the power now to either go first or you can sit back and let Cicero take that lead spot. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll go first this time. You want me to give the name of the game show, or you want me to explain it? What would you like me to do?
The game, which game it should be, and then you can explain the idea behind it.
All right, mine's going out of left field here. The game is Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be a curveball here. It's something me and a coworker were talking about a few weeks ago, actually, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, that would make interesting today. I thought about it. So Assassin's Creed, it would be a big open world area that they would pay out for people to walk around by standards, and two teams dressed as assassins would go through it, have a mission and goal to assassinate somebody, not actually kill them, but like get up close without them noticing.
Assassinate.
Drones all over the area with cameras. Stealth would be a big point. You get points for the main assassination, as well as takedowns of guards or whatever else that are walking around. And it would be interesting to watch from camera angles, watching these assassins move through crowds and hiding on benches or whatever they have to do that would keep them hidden to move into their goal to win points as a game show.
Okay.
You know, the original idea was have a bunch of friends dressed as assassins and run through the Renaissance Fair trying to kill everyone, which would be pretty awesome to watch. But this would be a game show based around the assassination and the stealthiness you can be to get to from point A to point B before the other team does, or earn more points than the other team.
All right. I'm going to pause you right there. Cicero, what is your game, and explain a little bit of how your show would work.
Well, we are going to make a game show out of a video game that is based on a game show. This game is Smash TV. We are going to make Smash TV the game, the show. So basically, Smash TV, for those people that don't know, is a co-op twin stick shooter where you're playing with someone, maybe, right? But you guys are set in rooms where enemies come and they try to attack you while money and prizes drop down, and there's an announcer who's making all sorts of noise, and you have guns and their power-ups, and you're both trying to survive as you make your way from one room to another room, which is another set piece with different things that are happening, where you rinse and repeat until you can make it to the final boss, where you'd have the boss battle and win all of the prizes. And then at the end, who has collected the most prizes and money wins. So, so the way this game would work is we can do lasers, we can do paintball, we can do any number of things, but you give the players the ability to play the game, gain power-ups, and try and make their way through the maze of different sets. And you can do this in a studio. It's very easy to kind of create, and you can do different sets, and then there's a boss at the end that they can make their way to. But you have 3 lives. So if you get hit by a thing or your life runs out, you get 3 of those. And if you run out of lives, then you're out of the game. And, your time is up. You get to see if the other person can make it and win the grand prize, whether it's $100,000 or, I don't know, $50,000, who knows? Whatever it is.
Depending on sponsors, could be a lot.
Right. Yeah, you get the chance to do it. And then if you guys both lose, then they start with 2 new people and run through it again. Okay, all right, fair enough. Could be on every week.
I like these ideas. Assassin's Creed, definitely a left fielder. I understand. I think I understand your game, and I'm going to try and give it back to you real quick, and you let me know if I got it right. Essentially, you have a area, we'll call it a field, that is filled with people who are paid actors to participate as bystanders in this sort of little arena. You have 2 opposing teams. That could be teams of people or just 1v1 going through trying to assassinate a certain member. This is where I'm a little confused. Are they after a single target and they're both trying to get the same target, or is there a goal in mind? Is it more CTF? Is there a flag that they must capture and return to their thing without getting caught? So I just is there multiple game modes? I think I just need a little more. And then Cicero, I'm going to come back to you because I've got some questions about Smash TV. But Justin, yes, first.
So for the Assassin's Creed open concept, they would each team would have their own assassination target, which would be separate from each other, and then for the sudden death, if they were to ever get to that, it would be the same target. But it would be an open area with buildings and stuff. Parkour could be a thing, but it would be something that they would have cover to block vision, and they would be able to move, and guards would be around, so they would be able to gain points along the way to try and beat the other team out to their individual targets. It wouldn't be a capture the flag. It would be once you get to that target, it ends just like the Animus would end in the game. That's when the round would end, and they would earn points based on how they did in the gameplay.
Okay, scored according to how they performed. All right, deal.
Is the host Michael Fassbender? Is the question.
He could be. It's up for debate.
Apparatus.
It could be. That would be another cost. I know it would be a little bit more expensive than yours and a little bit more difficult to create. But with money, you make more money. So I think that a lot of people with the drones floating over the head and watching it from them camera angles, seeing the assassin move through the crowds, it would be an event to watch for sure, and a good game show that would last.
Okay. Now, Cicero, you
Yes.
you avoided my main concern, which was the death and bloodshed that is very present in Smash TV.
Correct.
We're doing laser tag variant or paintball.
Right.
Either something that will result in less loss of life.
Correct.
Which is good for everyone.
I thought so.
Yeah. And even as the contestant, you die a lot in that.
Yeah.
Now, when I've played a little bit of this game, it's very fun, super entertaining, very arcadey. You explained really well kind of how they do it. Big warehouse segmented off into these different quadrants or different, cells that you would travel to. You can obviously let in baddies very easily that way from 4 different directions. Will there be you said there'd be prize drops, cash drops, whatever, similar to how it is. Will there be the onslaught of enemies like there is in that game? Will it be overbearing and have like drones, wall mounted drones and things like that, which there are in Smash TV?
So you will have it will be winnable but difficult.
Okay.
So right. So the point should be that the contestant feels like they have accomplished something if they make it to the end and have won the money. And as the viewer, you want to feel like the contestant has accomplished something, but that you also, as the viewer, can aspire to also be a contestant. So it has to be difficult enough that you feel like, oh, that person was good because they won, but it has to be easy enough so that you that's watching feels like you could also do it. Or at least, I wouldn't say easy enough, I would say accessible enough.
Yeah.
That you feel like you could also, that this person doesn't have, unlike, I love Justin's idea, right? But unlike Justin's idea, you don't have to be a parkour specialist in order to play Smash TV, the game, the show.
Okay, I understand that. Now, when it comes to your game, I see it as a HUD display while you watch it with the life bars and the pickups and power-ups on the screen for the viewer. Now, in order to be good at yours,
right,
you would not have to. You would not be able to have Stormtrooper aim. You would need to have the skills of shooting a gun in order to do that properly. Now, as for mine, parkour is an element that you could pick up if you like, but blending on a bench or through crowds is something anyone can do.
Oh yeah, that is
so
true.
It's not going to hinder their experience throughout the entire thing. Anyone can go like this. If you're watching, put your hands down in the prayer and walk slowly through a crowd, which would make you vanish in the game. Right. And no one would be able to see you. So from a drone's perspective, you can see that happen and then protect them. But from your game, you can't do that with a gun. You're gonna be having it be a game show in a sense of having it alter the way that people shoot. Even the enemies are gonna have to miss on purpose if you're losing, because you can't shoot good from your own perspective, from the player themselves. So that skill is going to be required in order to be in Smash Mouth TV PG version.
So well, first off, yes, it's going to be the PG version because then we'll be able to get it on Game Show Network. We can keep it in syndication. We can make a lot of money. But the other part of that is, you talk about, well, you have to have great aim. I don't know if you've ever played laser tag, but usually the 12-year-old kids are doing just as well as any adults in laser tag situations, and that's because you don't need the greatest of aims. You don't have to be James Bond or Jack Bauer or any of the JBs in order to succeed at those types of games. And then the other thing that you're missing, and you did point out a really good part of the game, which is, so the contestants are going to be wearing AR goggles, right? They'll have a small computer strapped to their back. They'll be wearing AR goggles. Those goggles will have their HUDs on them. Will also have a reticle so that they can help with their aim, and that will allow them to be better shots. But that will also be part of the experience for the viewer, because you'll get the first person view as they're playing. So you'll get the cuts of static locations from different cameras in the rooms. You'll get a drone that'll be flying around above head that we watching what's happening. You'll also get first person view from either of the people, and you'll be able to see all of that while you're watching them play. And it's going to be great, and they're going to win big money, big prizes.
Okay.
I like it.
I got one more thing, Jill, if that's okay. Cicero, you said VR headsets. Which
AR headsets.
AR headsets, okay. All right, good. Because I was worried there that you were going to say all the enemies were going to be in a VR setting as well, because that's just like watching someone on Twitch. And with AR headsets, even with the reticule, even with the aim, if you have a health bar, which you said was 3 hearts, laser tag is easy to hit for you and for your enemies. People are going to be dying left and right.
Well, what I was saying was, I didn't say that they have 3 hearts, they have 3 lives. So one of the things that if you know anything about Smash TV, you know that each player also has, they have a little time to being immune. They're invincible. There's a little bit of invincibility time. And then you also have power-ups that you can get, that some are shields, some will rebuild your health. So all of those things can be littered throughout any of the different stages that they have there, and you'll be able to see those things displayed through your headset as the competitor, right? When you grab one of those things, you'll see it in AR, you'll grab it, and you'll be able to use it, and you'll see it on your HUD, and we'll see it as the viewer on our displays that they picked up this power up. They got a new gun. That gun does a certain thing. They've got some health. They got a shield. Any of those things, but those things can be temporary. They can also break down and wear out, and eventually you'll run out of health, and you'll die. Yeah, and then you go on to your 3rd life. Until you have all your 3 lives are gone.
I just feel like making a game show with power-ups involved in it is incentivizing people to use those power-ups more often than not. And I feel like not having them is going to sacrifice gameplay and fun. And I feel like if you choose, or if you don't get a power-up, because near and far between there's not going to be power-ups around. They're not going to just hand you power-ups to help you win if there's big money involved. They're gonna try to hold on to that money as much as possible, and I think that if players don't get those power-ups, then they're not gonna have invincibility. They're not gonna have those aspects to make the game a little bit easier, and it's gonna make it it's gonna ruin the experience for them.
Not if they win.
Well, I love the idea of both of these games. I would watch them. Like, no joke, I would watch both of these if they were on. The idea of an Assassin's Creed style, like a human assassination game, in a fixed area, going through. The idea of that is awesome. The Smash TV, I get these throwback to like American Gladiator style vibe. Yeah, but you have all these different rooms which will be stylized in different ways. Maybe a chain link fence cage area looking one, and then like a roll up metal door looking one, and like a burned out building. Just all of these things flooding into my head as you guys are talking about the games. I don't know which one I want more.
Flip a coin.
They're so. I mean, you've sold me on
them.
them.
They're both so good. They would be so good, both of them.
Yeah.
But for game show watching, it's just one of the biggest experiences is watching it. Both of them hit those points as well, so that's what I'm saying.
So like they both have the watchability too. The first person views, because ideally both of them can have it. Right. Throw a GoPro on either one of them.
Yeah.
Geez.
Good fight, sis.
It's a great fight. Maybe slight edge for originality with Assassin's Creed. Might be the only.
It's a curveball.
I think that's the only leg up I can possibly give.
1 point
I
victory is
accept
still a
it,
victory.
and I would have picked Smash, but that's okay.
But
to watch both of them, it's so good.
The sell on them was so good. The studios need to hit you guys up. That's all I'm saying. Give you a little bit of credit and make it happen.
There you go.
Because I think budget-wise, Smash TV would make a
very budget-wise,
fun, very approachable game show for a studio to create. Laser tag being the easiest variant for that. Like, come on, hit up Cicero. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
But the PG version, because there's not going to be any blood, unlike the game.
Friendly.
Yeah, well, I mean, we wanted to be able to be on whatever counts as broadcast television right now.
Yeah. We want the
like,
Nintendo Mortal Kombat version where green ooze instead of bloodshed.
There you go.
We like it.
Whoopsie.
All right, that was a great fight. I'm really excited for the next one now. We've got Simpsons Hit and Run. Has gotten a very impressive Unreal Engine fan remake. So, what PS2 era game should be bought? What PS2 era game should be brought back to life? Tongue twister. In an Unreal Engine 5 style, very new, cutting edge variant. So give me your idea of what PS2 era game, and we're talking PS2 era is not the worst, but left some to be desired. What do you think? And Justin, you won by a smidge. So Cicero, you get to choose to go first here or go second. Decision is yours. What do you want to do?
I'm going to go first, but I think I'm going to get this game wrong because the game that I was going to choose, I don't know if it came out on the PS2.
Just go for it, because mine were re-released, but I still want them to be on Real 5. So,
how's this? It can be PS2 or earlier.
Then, well, you know what? It's okay because it did, and that game is Siphon Filter.
Perfect.
Okay. Siphon Filter is a game that I think could really use an Unreal 5 re-upping, and man, that game would be incredible.
Oof.
Okay, all right. Before you give me more, Justin, what's your game? And then we're gonna go back to you, Cicero. You guys are gonna duke it out.
So I was gonna pick. I have two options here, but I think I'm gonna go with my third that's not listed. I'm gonna go with Fatal Frame. It's a scary game, so it's gonna be a hard sell for you, Jelly. But
Okay.
it was a camera-based horror game where you'd capture spirits in the camera,
Yeah.
Okay.
and it was phenomenal.
What was it called? Fatal Frame?
Fatal Frame. Yeah, there was like 3, 4. There's a new one that's coming to the Switch.
Oh, really?
But that's not Unreal 5. Yeah, it was announced, I think, at E3 actually.
Huh.
Take a look here.
All right. Cicero, give
yeah.
me more on Siphon Filter, because I am unfamiliar with both of these games, thankfully. So,
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, you
okay,
guys
cool.
get to sell me on both of them. So Siphon Filter.
So Siphon Filter is a third-person shooter / stealth stealth game by Sony Bend Studio. And it was on the PlayStation 2, and then on the PSP. But you know, you're a special agent. You've got a mission. You got to go out there and get the baddies. And you know, you do the stuff, you save the world, man. And
right.
you know, I mean, there are different reasons you got to go out there and do the stuff, and there are different reasons you got to save the world. But the one thing that is known is you're the one who's got to do it. You've got to do the stuff. You've got to save the world, and it's up to you. And you can do it, and you do it every time, and it's awesome every time you do it. It was one of the first third-person shooter games that made people feel something. Like, right. Oh yeah, I know I keep saying things like you do the stuff, but you felt like you were doing the stuff when you play Siphon Filter.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
All right. I'm on board with it. I'm just trying not to give anything away here. So Justin, going back to you, Fatal Frame. You said it was horror. You said you take pictures and collect souls or something. Tell me more about it. I don't know enough, apparently. And then we'll have the real fight of why yours deserves the Unreal Engine update.
Well, it was a game where it's a Japanese horror game that kind of banked off of the Resident Evil series and the Silent Hill series, my personal favorite. And it was known for its use of, like, female protagonists. Okay? So, in a world here that there's not a lot of those, I think that use of a scary game with a female protagonist would be good on next gen, on this current build nowadays. I think that going through areas in a Japanese style horror with a camera as your weapon and having to take pictures when spirits are coming near you to stop them would work great visually nowadays. You know, there could be a VR version, there could be a regular version, and I think that personally it would really sell. I feel like the immersion level would be great with how good Resident Evil is doing now, and Silent Hill is kind of in a standstill. But with a new Fatal Frame coming out on the Unreal 5 engine, the visuals of the terror of snapping that photo before that thing touches you would really hit people. And I feel like with the visuals of it, it would sell very well. It was a good selling game. It had sequels. The second one was my personal favorite, Crimson Butterfly, and it took everything the first one did and ramped it up that the PlayStation original couldn't do. And like I said, they are making one for the Switch, I believe, coming out soon. But this would be something that would not be on Nintendo and look so much better than Nintendo could do and scare the crap out of you while doing it.
All right. Cicero, more of why yours deserves this Unreal update.
Well, so I guess the first part about it is that while there are third-person shooters out there, There aren't a lot of third-person shooters that are doing stealth in a way that, like, Metal Gear Solid was doing stealth. And Siphon Filter was one of those games that kind of did stealth in a way that seemed smart, right? And so, like, to be able to do that and have the animations look really great and the physics look really great using Unreal Engine 5, that would be amazing. The other part is there is a story there, right? There's lots of intrigue and espionage and things that happen throughout the course of the series over many of the games. Using Unreal Engine would give you the ability to play out, like, instead of having cutscenes, you could play out actual scenes with in-game engine using Unreal Engine 5 and really get immersed in the game and the narrative as you're continuing to play the game, because you never really break from seeing yourself as the characters as they're animated, because of the power of the engine and basically the source material that you're grabbing. So I would be all for it.
Okay.
Let's
okay.
go.
And Justin, why yours deserves the Unreal update as opposed to Siphon Filter?
I think that with Fatal Frame, the third person does work well, but when you switch into first for that camera capturing, it would look phenomenal with ghosts or whatever demons are coming towards you to snap those shots to damage it. Another game that did really well was Alan Wake, a little hidden treasure that's a great game to play. You use a flashlight to damage them and then shoot them. This would do great in a sense of the scary element and the story, like you were saying, Cicero, about yours. What story hits you harder than your sister vanishing and you have to save your sister, or your family member is in danger and you need to save them by clearing this evil spirit around? Stealth games do really well. They used to, and I think that it would do good for a Siphon Filter to come back. I think that the other one, the Tom Clancy's it's not Siphon Filter.
I mean, you mean Splinter Cell?
Splinter Cell is something that they should bring back,
right?
But they're not. And I think that using a camera to take pictures of ghosts would just look so much better. Having that first person in the Unreal Engine, having the element of the ghosts coming towards you, and you're having to, Jelly would freak out, but you would have to take those photos as soon as possible to damage that ghost so it doesn't get you. Because that first person view is really when that immersion hits you in Unreal. Third person games, the games look great in Unreal. The cutscenes look great. But being immersed in that first person view, looking through a viewfinder on an old classic camera, taking pictures of ghosts that are coming towards you, I think that would hit you and the visuals so much better than hiding behind a wall and accomplishing a mission.
Okay, all right. I don't know if I'd agree with that, Justin.
I know. I told you it's going to be a hard sell, but I think that this game it's one of my personal favorites,
Okay, so here's the problem. They're both old games. I've been looking at images from both of them while you guys have been arguing it out. Listen to the arguments, and I think Cicero beat you out. One, because his isn't a horror game, and you knew it was an uphill battle.
Degree of difficulty.
I applaud you for doing it anyways. I think it would work. I think you're not wrong. You made great points. However, with an Unreal update to Siphon Filter, that is a game that would be played by many, as opposed to a bit of a niche genre. I think that Fatal Frame would be awesome. Female protagonist would be cool. especially right now in today's age where we're, lacking in that. There are obviously games that they have them, but majority of them don't. But yeah, I think Siphon Filter, just going off images of what the games look like, Siphon Filter looks like it would be really awesome with updated everything. And if they include if the playstyle was exactly the same and all they did was update what it looked like with the Unreal and how things looked and reacted, I think that's going to be the more playable game. I think that's going to be the better one.
Right.
That's what I'm going with. Okay. I'm calling it. Banging the gavel, Siphon Filter gets the Unreal update if I had any control over it, but I don't. So right here, it just gets the win. But if we could give it an update, that's the one I want. Fatal Frame sounds horrifying. Why do you play games like that, Justin? You're crazy.
I love it. And the VR version, scary. I would get that VR version hands down.
Yeah,
that would
VR version. Oof. I would never play it, but man, that for those people that love that, that's gonna be
Taking
would be
pictures
amazing.
Of ghosts.
Yeah,
Oof.
that would be amazing. But not for me. Not for me.
Yeah, I'm out. Hard pass on that.
Yeah,
one.
I'm the one who played Resident Evil 7 on VR and loved it. So.
Yeah, I can't imagine trying to do that. I feel like my pulse wouldn't go below like 120 the entire time I had that thing on and was like maneuvering about.
Watching the opening cutscene, still freaking out.
I could be watching the end credits, the opening credits. It doesn't matter. As soon as like I'm immersed into it, it's like, oh man, I don't think I like this. Nope. All right. Siphon Filter over Fatal Frame. You heard it here first. You saw it here first. On to our third one, the last one before our new one. So Saints Row 5 may be revealed at Gamescom.
You did it.
Yeah. What is the best GTA clone? And Cicero, you won the last round. Justin,
I did.
You choose. You go first or second?
I'll go first this time, I think. I don't want Cicero to take my answer.
Fair enough.
I think from my own standing, Saints Row, phenomenal games. I loved the first 3, played them nonstop. But for the best GTA clone other than Saints Row, I'm going to go with Mafia and the Mafia trilogy.
All right. Before we hear more, Cicero, let's hear your pick, and then I'll just sit back and allow you guys to fisticuffs.
All right. Well, the best GTA clone is Saints Row the Third.
It's Saints Row the Third.
Saints Row the Third.
Okay. Are we allowing Saints Row to be chose as long as it's not Saints Row 5?
It's not. Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't know what Saints Row 5 could be. But the question is, what's the best GTA clone?
That's
and
fair.
It's Saints Row the Third.
Okay.
All right. Tell me more, because these are 2 games with which I am not just privy to any of the stuff about them. I've heard of Mafia and I've heard of Saints Row, and that's it.
Which Mafia game are you picking, Justin?
I'll go with Mafia 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
So Mafia 2 versus Saints Row 3.
Yeah, I'll start first. Mafia 2, another one of my turning point games. Enjoyed it not only because of the gameplay, a GTA clone consists of driving around, doing missions, killing things, open world for sure. Mafia 2 brought those elements in that GTA had, and then added a spin of going back in time, back to the 40s and 50s.
Right.
And one of the things that really hit me as a player, brought back nostalgia with like Vice City and the good GTA 3, was the soundtrack. Not only the gameplay, but the music involved. And the soundtrack for Mafia 2 hits another level for me. The old 50s, 40s music, it made the game, because when you're driving around, you're not just sitting there listening to a radio station or someone talking crap on the radio. You're listening to good music from that time period.
Right.
And then the gameplay and the visuals ramped it up even further. You know, the story and the characters that GTA have, Mafia made their own thing with. And the first one laid the foundation, and the second one, I think, took the cake. They had the characters, the family, you cared about them. Moving back to the city, New York, during it, and you really got the atmosphere of New York. Before any game even came close to showing that immersion level when you go to a city, you saw the people on the streets, you saw the cars, you saw the sounds, you heard the birds, you heard all of the elements that make a good atmosphere inside of a game, immersed you with music and gameplay better than anything else.
All right, Cicero. To
All
your
right,
side of it.
So I mean, people knew of Saints Row. The first Saints Row was a game that was trying to beat GTA.
Mm-hmm.
The second Saints Row was a game that people thought was, it was like GTA also, like it's another GTA. By the third one, by Saints Row the third, it was Saints Row. And it earned the right to be that, because it did all of the things that we knew from GTA. And GTA, we knew that GTA was satire. And you know, it was definitely satirizing the time periods that it was in, while it was also paying homage to whatever the genre was, whether it was mafia stylings, present day mafia stylings in GTA 3, or cocaine 80s and South Florida and Vice City, or the 90s, early 90s West Coast in San Andreas.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things were satirized in GTA, but what Saints Row did was they saw the satire, but they just made a farce. And by Saints Row the third, you were getting to like the right amount of farce. By the time we got to Saints Row 4, they were flying and they were doing all sorts of stuff, and it was just too far, right? But but Saints Row the third did everything that the first two games that had done, brought them up to 11, and allowed the game to stand on its own as its own thing, in very real ways. And we had already now had the story of the two previous games and understanding who the Saints are, but all of the other shenanigans that took place in Saints Row, the insurance fraud, and running around with tanks, and this game brought out, you had very unique weapons, might I say, that you were able to wreak havoc with. Saints Row the Third was incredible, and it was a game that people picked up to play instead of playing GTA.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
As I do. Oh no, I got one more thing, if that's okay.
I was just gonna say final thoughts before we move on to our thing, but you're good.
Oh, okay. Okay. I do agree with you. Saints Row the Third, excellent game. I put many hours into it. The difference with that compared to Mafia is GTA was meant to be grounded. Yeah, it had some crazy stuff going on,
right,
but it didn't have this insane amount of unbelievability that you would have in Saints Row.
Correct.
Mafia 2, it allowed you to do so much more than even GTA did at that time. It allowed you to choose whether to be aggressive or not. Even when it comes to like opening a door or stealing a car, you could choose to press one button and pick the lock, or click a different button and kick the door. you could choose those options, and the immersion level behind that of you making those choices instead of just choosing to be violent or going crazy with guns or whatever in Saints Row gave you a more sense of you're in that game. And one of the biggest things that I saw as an improvement playing Mafia 2, other than the soundtrack, because that was awesome, was the cutscenes. Because when it comes to cutscenes in games, they're usually scripted and already created. But when it comes to Mafia, you were able to go into the cutscene wearing whatever, or parking your car, or having a weapon, and the cutscene would replicate that in real time. So wherever you put your car in the background, whatever it looked like, whatever you were wearing would be replicated in those cutscenes live. So your character would look the same, and what environment you were in would look the same, even in the cutscenes. So that immersion value made it seem like the cutscenes were built around you, instead of just a scripted cutscene that has the same play out every time. So I think that Mafia 2 would win that.
Oh, well, what's funny, Justin, is you're right that they did that kind of stuff in Mafia 2 with the cutscenes, but they also did that in Saints Row the Third. Another thing that they did in Mafia 2 that they didn't do in Saints Row the Third was have terrible frame rates, and choppy animations. And bad physics. So, yes, conceptually Mafia 2 may have had things that allowed you to overlook its glaring weaknesses, so that you can romanticize what was happening in that game. But you didn't have to do those things with Saints Row the Third. You didn't have to, because they made the game, and the game was good, and the people played it, and they enjoyed it, and it is revered as one of the greatest open world GTA style games ever created. Probably rank it, maybe above a GTA game. Maybe. I don't know.
All right. I'm interested about them. Both of them. I love the idea of a 50s, 40s style GTA clone. I think that in my mind, that sounds amazing. I obviously have not played either of these games. So I don't know how that is, literally. But in my mind, it's great. You're playing The Godfather out, and it sounds fantastic. Saints Row sounds like a little bit more of an exciting game. Not quite so, we'll say, stuck in its time. It's more nuanced, it looks, just based on the images. A little bit adulty. I don't know how adult Mafia 2 gets. I'm assuming probably pretty adulty.
They both get very adulty.
Okay, fair enough. Not surprised at that.
Saints gets very adulty. Very adulty on Saints Row. And
both of them seem rather not geared towards children. We'll say a 17
not
or
at all.
audience here.
Not at all.
Based off the arguments, because that's all I can go on, because I don't know these games, I'm gonna have to give it over to shucks.
Did you read what IGN said? I'm not going to say it, but...
No, I did not.
No, okay, don't look it up. Just make your decision.
Yeah, I don't do any extra research. I only get to go by what you guys tell me. Sorry.
All right.
I think Cicero takes it.
Okay.
I think he explains Saints Row 3 in a way that more appeals to what I would be interested in playing. And he likened it to GTA, probably the closest. Whereas yours, you said it was very much in the style of GTA. Oh, goodness sakes. GTA. But has a more Mafia 40s feel. And I think that's different. Honestly, I think that's better. I just don't think that's as GTA cloney. I think it takes it a step further, and rather than cloning it, turns it into something better. Saints Row 3 looks like they cloned it, and just like Cicero said, they made it more campy, made more of a farce out of it without going too far, but it looks pretty campy. So I'm gonna go with Saints Row 3. I think Mafia 2 would be more my game though.
It's a great game. Both of them are great games. Just for the viewers' standpoint, I respect the decision. IGN specifically stated they felt like the game Saints Row 3 was not a GTA clone.
They must have thought it was its own thing as well.
Yeah, it's just it's a good game. It's great. Anyone that hasn't played it, if you're above the age of, mature audiences, you should play this game.
Yes,
Both
if your
of them
parents
are great
don't
games.
buy games for you and you buy your own video games, we'll say that.
Yes.
Then you're probably of the age where you can play these things. If your parents buy you games and you ask them for this game, rethink that, please. You should not be playing this game. Not happening. If it's anything like GTA, which I have played all of those except for 5.
It ramps it up a bit. There's a lot more in this than GTA would put in theirs, and that's scary to think about because GTA does a lot.
You could pick up prostitutes and then get your money back by doing dastardly deeds. That's the most PG version I can put that. It sounds bad.
I'm not going to state what you can do in Saints Row, but it's up there.
Yeah.
All right. I will probably not be playing these. Again, if I did choose one, Mafia 2 looks great, sounds great. The idea of having some like big band and like Rat Pack era sounds awesome.
Chuck
I love that
Berry,
idea.
Dean Martin, it's great.
It is time. All right, we have a new segment. It is a time trial segment. We're calling it time trial right now. We have a working, name.
Working title.
Yeah, it's a working title. If you have an idea after you listen to this of what you think it should be, let us know. And if it's good enough, we will call it whatever your name is, insert here, segment. I have a fun acronym, TITMS, and it's test your time management skills. So right now, it's just time trial. But the idea is you have 1 minute for your opener, for your main part of the discussion, right? Then you'll have a 30-second rebuttal and then a 30-second closing. So in all, you get 2 minutes to figure out exactly what you want to say and say it. And I will stop you and I will cut you off. I will put my hands up and I will start talking over you if need be. So if you guys have timers, maybe pull them out, but I will have my phone right next to me with the timer going, and I'll let you know. But that is 1 minute for openers, 30-second rebuttal, 30-second closing. You guys excited to basically beat the clock?
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know we like to talk a lot, so
let's go.
It's gonna be difficult. I have a feeling, but I'm really excited. When Mike told me about it, I was really excited. The idea of time being something you're fighting against as well, just really fun. It's a fun idea. All right, so the question.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, the question is: Skyrim, GTA 5, and The Witcher 3 are all set to have a next-gen upgrade later this fall, meaning soon. So, which of these three will have the best fall? Will it be Skyrim, will it be GTA 5, or will it be Witcher 3? Now, you guys are not just fighting each other, but you're also fighting a clock. So, let's have your answers now. And Saints Row 1 out. So, Justin, you lucked out. You get to choose first. Then Cicero, but it's the arguments that matter. So, Justin, do you want to go first or second? And then I will You'll go first? Okay.
Yeah.
What is your choice? Don't say anything. Just say the choice you're choosing.
GTA.
GTA 5. Gotcha. Cicero, which are you arguing?
Damn it. I wasn't going to argue GTA 5, Skyrim then.
Skyrim it is. Okay.
It's tough. I'm definitely not picking Witcher.
Now, well, I mean, they got that new Netflix season. They might have a great fall. You never know. Anyways, that's not part of the argument, so I can say that. When you're ready, Justin, let me know. I will start the timer as soon as you start talking.
Okay, I think that GTA is going to win. It's got the online mode, it's got the single player. You know, they promised more single player elements, but it still hasn't come. But they're going to be adding these visuals for the next gen. Obviously, it's something that everyone wants. GTA Online still is making money every single day, and I believe that they're going to continue to make money even through the fall, even with a small update. If it's free for everybody that already owns the game, it's gonna do good, and it's gonna continue to do good. Other than another game that's gonna have a single player element and lose people over time, something that they can play with other people and friends and continue to look good and look better and add things servicely. It's gonna do better than the other options. I think it's got such a big world that you can do so many things in now. It's overload, but it keeps you engaged, and it keeps getting better. They keep adding things that everyone wants.
All right, kept it under a minute. Good job. Cicero, you are up when you're ready. I will start the timer.
5 years. It's been 5 years since we had a new version of Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. In those 5 years, there have been 2 iterations of the Xbox One, 2 iterations of the PlayStation 4, and then brand new consoles. People are going to be ready. People love the last Elder Scrolls. They're trying to get ready for Elder Scrolls 6, whatever that is going to be. And in the meantime, in the interim, they're going to be playing Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. They're going to be playing it in the highest fidelity, with all of the HDR, with all of the ray tracing this year, and they're going to be playing it by the droves.
Right. Great answer. I love it. Love it. You'll have another opportunity here in just a minute to tell us more in your rebuttal and closing. But for now, Justin, I need you to rebut. You have 30 seconds. Why is Cicero's not as good?
I think that Skyrim, from what I've heard of what they're adding, fishing and the visuals are going to be good, but I don't think they're going to last. I have it on multiple consoles. As you said, it's been out for a very long time, just as GTA has, but I believe that the features that they're going to add aren't going to last. Fishing is a mod on the PC, and the visuals have been on the PC for a long time, and I've been playing them. So I think that something new and refreshing for everybody is going to do better.
Good job. 30 seconds. All right. Rebuttal. Cicero, why is GTA 5 just a whatevers?
Well, like Justin said, I mean, he's been playing Skyrim on the PC. So if you've been playing GTA 5 on the PC, then you're not going to get anything new. So, but let's talk about the console owners. It's been 5 years since they've been able to play Skyrim. Skyrim's not in HDR. Skyrim's not in 4K. And now it will be for the PC players and for the console players. Done. Skyrim.
All right. Both under 30 seconds here. All right. You have closing arguments now. Take a minute. Gather your thoughts. 30 seconds to make your final play. Was thinking of another P word, but I couldn't think of one. Prostrate your argument before me. There we go. 30 seconds. Last little bit. When you're ready.
So I think that the only thing that really hits me hard is the VR element on the PC. I've been playing both of these on the PC, and they both look amazing. Ray tracing, HDR, whatever you need to do. But I think the extra content that they're going to add is going to be the thing that makes people last. So you have a few things that are already on PC that people can on console play with, but they're not as big as the amount of content that they're going to be adding to Grand Theft Auto 5. I feel like GTA 5 is going to prolong that experience even into the online multiplayer.
All right. Good. Cicero, closing statements. What have you got for Skyrim, my friend?
Well, the first thing I've got is that GTA 5 is a great game, and so many people love to play it. They've been playing it, but they haven't been playing Skyrim. And really, honestly, all I've got to say is, you don't have to pay anything, because I got 2 words for you. Game Pass. Skyrim. Come and get it.
All right, fair enough. It was a few more than 2 words, but it was a solid argument nonetheless. All right, now the hard part.
They were
I
2
have
words
to
at
decide.
a time.
It was 2 words initially. Game Pass. I like it. It's a great argument. Honestly, it has won fights here many times before, because it's such a good argument that how could it not? You have a service that if you bought an Xbox, you most likely have Game Pass going with it. But doesn't mean you're going to win this one just on Game Pass alone. You make great points. You make great arguments. The problem is Justin did as well. Brought a solid fight to the table for GTA 5. His was good. He made some really good points for GTA. I think you knocked him back a little bit. You did well, arguing, hey, PCs have had that. It's not really anything new. Consoles are getting it, was a big point in your favor. And then Justin was like, hey, yeah, but the content that you're getting is fishing. And that's not real great. And that was a big knock against Skyrim, because, fishing's cool, but it's cool in real life and less cool in video games. We've been fishing since Zelda. I'm sure the people who like Skyrim will enjoy fishing in the environment. Oh, yeah. Most likely. Dang it. Honestly, that was a great defense for Skyrim, because I thought GTA 5 was going to knock it out the park. Do we give points for being able to come back and fight the harder fight?
The degree of difficulty.
I mean, it should matter, right?
GTA is not on Game Pass?
GTA is currently on Game Pass.
Yeah.
But there is no guarantee that it will remain on Game Pass.
After he makes the decision, I'll tell you one more thing about Skyrim that I really wanted to say, but I didn't have time.
That's the hard thing. He's got to fit in the argument. I think I gave points to Assassin's Creed for being the uphill fight and the out the box. I gave points for uphill battles already. I think I'm going to continue doing that. Skyrim, you made great points. Cicero, I'm giving it to you for fighting the uphill fight. With that being said, it was a close darn fight, easily as close as the first one, which was a sucky one to decide. 1 point victory is still a victory. So you take the W on that one. Justin, what was your last point? What did you not have time for?
You stated that because it's in Game Pass, it's going to be free, but that's not entirely true. They said that if you bought the last version, the legendary version or whatever, you'll get a free upgrade. But if you get it through Game Pass, you're not going to get this upgrade without a pay. It's going to be extra money for fishing and ray tracing.
Well,
so that's why the PC. That's why buying it on the PC is way better, because you already got that stuff. Right. You didn't have to pay.
Well,
good stuff.
Good stuff. I like it. All right, we're moving on to the leaderboard.
Good stuff.
Stuff, exactly. Like a smoke and a pancake. This week's leaderboard is top 5 sequel games. And Justin, you're our guest. We are leading off with you. What are your top 3 sequel games?
So all of mine have a 2 in them.
Okay.
Because I went with direct sequels instead of like down the lines. Because Halo 3 was obviously very good, but I went with Halo 2. Great game. I went with Silent Hill 2. And then back when I took my grandpa to the store, I used to play a lot of Rock Band 2.
Oh, wow.
Mike will appreciate that one.
Oh yeah, shout out to Mike.
Cicero, what are your top 3 sequel games?
GTA 5.
GTA 5.
Great game.
Yeah.
So good.
All right.
Still
GTA
doing
5. Forza Horizon 3.
Until the new one comes out. Great answer.
I don't know.
4 is out. 5 is on its way.
Yeah, 5. The newest
Yeah.
one. The
Yeah.
Mexico.
Right.
3 was
Horizon
phenomenal.
Mexico.
Yeah.
3 was Australia, right?
Yes, 3 was
Yeah.
Australia.
Horizon.
Such a good game.
There we go.
Yeah. Then my third sequel. You know what? I'm gonna go with Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you.
That's you're gonna make it difficult on me, dude. That's that's another turning point game for me. That's such a good game.
Link to the Past has been mentioned several times on here, I believe.
And by me too.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it in there.
My first choice is Legend of Zelda, but it is not Link to the Past. Shout out to Sean Rugg. It is Majora's Mask.
Ooh.
Interesting. That's the only Zelda I haven't finished.
You should finish it. It's very fun. And has a great ending. It's a great story.
I think
one of the
bought
better
the
Zelda
3D.
stories even.
I think I have the DS remake. I'll have to put it back in.
That's the better one to play because it's in HD.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going Portal 2
Okay.
because the Portal games are some of my favorite, and they made a sequel. It's basically the same game, but it's freaking great. I love it.
And 2-player.
Yep, added the extra player in there. For my third choice, shucks, what do I choose? You know what? I'm going Smash Bros.
I've got a lot of bias.
And we'll do
remorse
what?
with my list.
Brawl? Melee? Oh, Melee.
Melee is the GameCube.
Yeah. Which one was on the Wii? Was that Brawl?
That's Brawl.
Or Melee?
That's Brawl.
That was Brawl.
That's Brawl.
Brawl? Okay.
Well, technically, if your Wii could play GameCube games, you could use Melee in it, but originally released was Brawl, yeah.
I'm going to do Brawl because I think that's the one I played more because I didn't have a GameCube.
Waggle. You waggled it. Waggle.
Yeah. That's what I'm going
That's the
with.
one that had Diddy Kong. That was great.
Yeah.
Okay, so my top 3, Majora's Mask, Portal 2, Smash Bros. Brawl. We need to slim it down. So, Justin, what is your must-have for our top 5? Which one has to be there?
Oh, God. Oh, that's hard.
Not trying to make it
I'm gonna
easy.
have to go with Rock Band 2. I'm gonna have to do it.
Whoa.
You know, yeah, that's huge for me. It's got 84 songs, I believe, and I've done the endless set list on it multiple times, which is all the songs back to back, no pause.
And you listen to them with your grandpa at the store. Gotcha. Cicero, what is
Yeah.
your must-have for the top 5 here?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Forza Horizon 3.
Forza Horizon 3. Perfect. It's making it. And for me, shucks. See, I don't want to have to fight Majora's Mask. I just want to put it on there and have it be there and have it be the better Legend of Zelda game. The problem is...
It's better than Link to the Past?
Well, in my opinion, yes. But I know that that's one of your top of all-time Zelda games. And I know that Mike would battle for Zelda Link to the Past as well. I think if it was Sean and I here, we could win it. But with Cicero having made that, I'm having to battle 2 against 1.
Tough.
Yeah, it's a big uphill battle for me.
But this is your must-have.
It is my. I think I have to go Majora's Mask. I think it's out of my 3. It is my favorite sequel game.
Okay.
Which is saying a lot because Ocarina of Time was my favorite Zelda game. Even more.
The problem
than
is
Breath of the
all
Wild.
these other ones are so good. Except you guys might not like Silent Hill, but I could fight it to the end of time.
Yeah, Silent Hill is great though. Silent Hill 2 is.
But all these other ones are so tough.
Halo 2,
Yeah.
GTA 5.
Yeah, Halo 2 is obviously a top contender. We're gonna have to fight for that.
I think my 2 are the weakest, and they're good games. Smash Bros is huge.
They're great.
And Portal is
I
huge.
loved all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I feel like they're the weakest here because GTA 5 is one of the most played games of all time.
I will fight for Halo 2.
Okay. I think that because we have Majora's Mask, I think Link to the Past is not going to cut it. Because there's too many other Zeldas on there.
Yes.
So Jelly really made that decision for both of us.
Yes.
I would fight for Halo 2 as well.
Jelly? Halo 2?
I'm not against GTA 5 and Halo 2. I think those are great choices for the list. Do they beat out Silent Hill and Portal and Smash Bros?
So I would argue yes, it's Silent Hill. It's harder for me with Portal 2 because I think that game is brilliant.
And it's a true sequel. Smash Bros. I feel like is a weak play at a sequel because those are just the same game, just given a new name and new characters.
Someone could make that same argument with Rock Band, but I do think they added more elements to Rock Band.
Yeah, they
with the sequel. But I would argue that if you're going to have a list, this is basically a list of the best franchises of all time, right?
Yeah, essentially.
And if you have that list, it's already not going to have a Super Mario Brothers on there, but to not have a Halo game and not to have a GTA game, I think would be kind of like a sacrilege.
Really distasteful.
Well, I think that Silent Hill is better than GTA 5, honestly.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think that Konami did such a great job taking that original concept of Silent Hill and taking the Resident Evil franchise and twisting it a bit to make it more puzzle-based and more atmospheric. I think that Silent Hill laid foundation for a lot of games nowadays. And I feel like it was one of the last good scary games, excellent scary games that came out.
I mean, if you want to talk puzzle games,
know,
you're battling against Portal 2, one of the best puzzle games of all times.
Right. Like
I agree completely. Yeah. Portal 2 is great. I do think that Silent Hill takes the cake on that, though, because I think that Silent Hill took an element of the story to another level. Yeah, Portal is great in innovation, but
good story.
When it comes to when it comes to
evil overlord robot controlling every single thing you do.
Well, when it comes to horror video games, there's not a lot of good stories out there. And Silent Hill and what Konami did with this, it hit me in another place. You know, the story of finding his wife throughout the entire campaign and having to deal with monsters and atmospheric changes to the radio and the camera angles. You know, it was of its time, of course, but I think that it did more innovation than Portal did.
Yeah, I mean, I think those arguments are great. I don't think they're wrong. I will go back and say GTA 5 has been on 3 separate video game consoles.
Yeah, from the 360 on.
Oh, I agree completely. You know, in the earlier fight, I was going to pick Silent Hill as a remake, but they did do an HD remake of 2 and 3, and I didn't want to step on any toes.
Right.
And GTA has been around for a long time because of how good it is.
Yes.
And I agree completely. It's a different realm of gaming. I think that I would be down to do a GTA 5 as the list and put an honorable mention as Silent Hill, but I feel like Silent Hill really took a motif of this scary game that Resident Evil did great and completely did it in a way that bumped it up to 100. You know, GTA was kind of the same game reiterated with more content, and the story and the innovation in Silent Hill was of its time, and it was different. That's why I think
I'm on board for GTA 5 and Silent Hill as honorable mention. Only because I have heard that GTA 5 has one of the best campaigns that I have to play.
Oh yeah. Oh
yep.
yeah.
I've played through it on every console it released.
Yeah.
So I think we have to put it on the list. I think Cicero's right. To have it would be to not have it would be almost sacrilege. But I am absolutely willing to honorable mention Silent Hill 2. 1, because you're arguing for it, and 2, because I know that it is good. Not only because of the gameplay, because they've tried to make a movie franchise out of it with the Silent Hill films. We will honorable mention it. Give it the old HM. And Silent
they did
Hill
make a
2.
GTA movie. It's called Real Life.
Yes.
No, don't you mean Free Guy?
Free Guy. Oh, I want to see that. A discussion for another time. Gentlemen, we have a leaderboard. We have a top 6, and I'm just saying top 6. We won't even say honorable mention. We have Rock Band 2 in no particular order. Listeners, viewers, we love you, but we don't order them. It's just too hard, and it's not fair, and you don't have that kind of time. That'd be another hour easy. So we have Rock Band 2, Forza Horizon 3, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Halo 2, GTA 5, and Silent Hill 2. We did good. Honestly, the list that we provided, we had to make big cuts. We made them. We have a great top 6 here. Gentlemen?
I think honestly the weakest was Smash Brothers, and that's sad. You know, because it's such a great game, and it did such a great thing for the community.
It's just not the most sequel-y feeling. It's more of a
iterative.
Yeah,
it's
a reiteration of the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I feel good about this. This was a great episode. I love that I got to come back for this one. Thanks for joining me, Cicero, Justin. Thanks for being here, donating, volunteering, giving your time to us and to all of our listeners and viewers. And to our listeners and viewers, thank you so much. If you're still here at the very end, we love you. We love you. We love you. I mean, I can't say it enough. We appreciate what you guys are doing just by listening to us talk about things that we love. Thanks for being here. We will see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Say hi to your mother for me.
Take your grandpa to the store.